Yo, what's going on, guys? This is ShadowDragon here. We are playing Doki Doki Fruits of the Literature Club. Yeah, this is a mod I've seen around a lot, so I want to play it. Let's get going. Yeah. We're called Shadow, by the way, guys. The morning sun hits my eyeballs, causing it to squint shut. Having my experience, I am used to it, but nevertheless annoyed. This is one of the few times I've wished I had longer hair to block out the sun from hitting my eyes, but unfortunately I am mandated to keep my hair below a specific length. The rhythmic sounds of the train hitting the rails remains a reminder of where I am destined. I look out the window that I happen to be seen next to and into the city. The stories I have heard about this place when I found out I was coming here, I'll tell you, it left a sour taste in my mouth. The train begins to lose momentum, signaling our arrival momentarily. I hear a familiar digital sound emanating from my watch indicating the new hour that we have reached, just as it does 23 other times a day. The train comes to a complete halt. The passengers around me, myself included, set off and begin to depart our vessel. Hey, the moment I step out onto the nicely maintained concrete, I hear a voice calling to me. Shadow, Shadow! I cock my head slightly towards the direction of the sound and see an old man that used to be an acquaintance of mine. I turn and walk towards the man. I didn't expect to see you here, old man. Before me is a man around 5 feet and 7 inch tall, pretty short compared to normal people I am around. His wrinkled face and squinted eyes turning into a genuine smile at the side of me. Same with you. What are you doing here? Literally just got into town. Oh? You here for anything special? One of his eyebrows lifts up. Nope. Just here to go to school. His face changes. It looks as if he's surprised. What's that face for, old man? I never thought I would hear those words come out of your mouth, Shadow. Back in, well, you know, you weren't so spry to go to school. That I was not. But times have changed and I'm ready to go to a normal school for once. His smile returns. He pats me on the back with an all too familiar pattern. Well, that's great. And what are you doing here? Well, I retired. I came out here to live with my daughter and her kids. Daughter? Now, there is something I didn't expect you to say. Well, everyone gets old and needs to settle down eventually. Yeah, but I never thought you would. I expected you to remain with the majority of us until you finally gave out. Well, here I am. Do you have a place to stay? You have a house somewhere near the school. Eastern side? Northeast. Aha, I know it. Need a ride? Well, I don't have any other plan. Oh, sorry, so you were going to walk there? Pretty much. Where is your luggage? Everything I own is in the bag on my back. I put one of my thumbs to a black Kevlar backpack I've securely strapped to me. You always travel light, don't you? Easy to disappear when necessary. He chuckles. Come on, let me show you to my car. Buy you a leave. The old man had a pretty stylish car. My father used to have one of these. A 69 Mustang. She sure is a beauty, isn't she? Is this how you spent your retirement funds? Oh no, I still have a good half left. So out of the 800 grand they gave you spent over a quarter of it already. Kids aren't cheap, as well as this sexy of a car. The black Mustang accelerated onto a turnpike and eventually into a city street. When we departed the train station, I expected to be a short ride to the place I'm living at. But I was very wrong. Turns out the train station is about a 15-minute straight drive on the freeway. Doesn't seem like much if you're a driver, but if you were walking like myself, it would have taken as long as 3 hours. The convenience of a freeway allows drivers to get great distances at greater speeds than normal roads. So, are you still in Ashley's detail? The idol? Nah, I left that a long time ago. Trouble for an up? Nope, just did as much as I could then. So in short, you weren't needed anymore. Pretty much. Bummer. Bummer? I don't socialise well with others, especially with a teenager with a small degree of popularity among even more hormonal teenagers. Shouts to me that you got some drama with this girl. I don't know what you're talking about. I look back towards him, a casual glare on his face. Oh, come on, don't tell me you didn't try to get with her. Are you serious? No! Good, you know that isn't allowed. That and I don't really have any need for any type of relationship right now. Or at all, if I really look at it. You will eventually. Doubt it. We remain quiet for a few moments. I keep thinking of my comments about a relationship. It's not like I don't want one. It's the fact that in the position I am, I would have a lot of unnecessary stress. So every day I could just breathe in, live a normal day by day. Every day has a small amount of repetitiveness to it. But that is another story. We are almost there. Again, I appreciate the ride. You should stop by one day for dinner. I think my daughter would love to meet you. Oh, why's that? I ruffle my eyebrows at him. Because you're basically like me when I was younger. She's always nagging me about telling me about her younger years. You haven't, right? Oh, of course not. I know better. I was about to say, don't lecture me on policies I've lived by for 30 years, Shadow. With age comes easiness, old man. I still think I could take you. That'd be interesting. I still am active, you know. How so? Granted, the man was old, but he still had a pretty fit body. Usually as men get older, especially where I come from, they tend to just let themselves go. They say, screw it, and I worked hard these years and I earned this, then they just let their bodies waste with alcohol, tobacco, and junk food. I teach a self-defense class. What? I teach a self-defense class downtown. Well, that's one way. You should pop by, give some of the ruffians in my class a little reality check. Why's that? Because if you and I both know to never underestimate an opponent, they could be just as clever, attentive, aware, and more skilled than you. Ah, the old 1x4 rule. Exactly. Hey, we're here. As he sees those words, we turn to a steep corner and find ourselves in a pretty nice suburban neighborhood. This it? Yeah, this is it. I pull the polished metallic door handle and exit the car. I look back at the man and give one last gesture of farewell. Thank you, Jeff. You got it. Before switching gears, Lehman gives me one last smile. Well done, let's check this place out. I look around the neighborhood and notice that this suburban block has the same architect for almost all the buildings. I take a look at the space in between the house I'm living in and the one next to it on both sides. I check the integrity of the fence that borders decent strength. I take a stroll around the perimeter of the house. I take note of the number of windows, their position on the structure, their height from the ground. A second story window should be fine. I take note of what looks to be the balcony and the back door. As I walk towards the front of the house, I notice a girl walk down the street. She's wearing a counterpart of the uniform I was given for school, so she must have gone to the same school as I. She has someone who's skipping a step. Her blue eyes look to the sky and flowers as she passes by. Her hair is a coral pink colour. She has a bright red bow on the left side of her hair and it looks sloppily positioned. Oh, we know who this is. I rub my eyes because I swear I see her glow. That girl just seems to emanate joy. I scoff at her and turn myself to the door. Kid will learn that the world isn't all sunshine and rainbows, she thinks. I unlock the door and enter. Immediately, I'm greeted with a short hallway around 3 steps before the kitchen opens to the right. The kitchen is rather modern and well furnished. I check the fridge and nothing. I chuckle at myself, not knowing what else to expect. Well, you just got the house, man, I think. The place is furnished, but I was just curious. I close the fridge and look out into the living room, which borders it. I take a look into the living room and look out the windows. I look around to see if I can see the space directly below the window. I can't. I walk across the room and open a small white door. It leads into a laundry room filled with a washer and dryer. A luxury, it will definitely be easier than manually washing and drying my clothes. I close the door and head upstairs. Immediately on the left is my bathroom, and across from that is my bedroom. They seriously did not spare any expense for the decor here. In my bedroom is a closet, dresser, bed, desk, and several miscellaneous items to make it look lived in. I take a moment to place my backpack on the bed and survey the area from my window. Once I get a good understanding, I walk out of the room. Next to the stairwell is a sliding glass door that leads to a balcony. Oh, nice. I walk out onto the medium-sized cement balcony. I lean forward on the wall, my forearms supporting me, and look out into the neighborhood. I can see some grade school-aged kids playing with a jungle gym some well-funded parent purchased. I can also see an old man petting his dog in the front yard. Neighborhood watchman here, eh? I look to my left and I noticed that the same girl I saw earlier in her room. I didn't realize I lived so close to her. Through the glass window of her bedroom, I noticed her moving around the left side of her room to the right. She's moving something, most likely a change of clothes. She stops in front of the window facing to the side. She makes a few faces which confirm my initial fear is correct. She's looking into a mirror. She undoes her red tie, pulls off her grey jacket, starts unbuttoning her white undershirt. Give us some privacy! Yup. I turn away from the view and return inside. Honestly, he's a polite kid, I'll give him that. I think. My watch beeps, indicating it is now 8 o'clock. 4 more hours until midnight. Normally I'd be in bed by now, but I'm waiting an important call. It doesn't bother me much since I've gone days without sleep. Losing a few hours for one night isn't going to kill me. I kick my feet up on the opposite end of the couch and lean back. I continue to read the book that I have in my hands. I made sure to turn on the news earlier. I got a general idea of the community here. I've made it a habit of mine to always check the local news to scout out the area. To see whether there is high crime, no crime, political activity, the usual. I'm not a big fan of politics, but knowing the local debate helps me understand the people better. This guy is pretty smart, isn't he? The sound of my phone going off sends a shiver down my spine. It isn't the sound that sends that feeling down my back, it's the reason for it. I answer the phone call. 6 o'clock now, huh? 6 o'clock hits. I am already ready for school. For a normal person not used to wearing uniforms, the school outfit does seem a bit excessive. But since I've been in uniforms all my life, this is nothing to me. I take a look at myself in the mirror for a quick medical check. No wounds or scratches overnight. I take another drink of water and plan out my day. I'll follow my normal school schedule, and on my way home, I'll stop by the grocery store and pick up some food and head home. Once I get home, I'll go on a run to get me further familiar with the area. And when that is done, I'll be on free time. I take a last look in the mirror and retrieve my bag. As I reach the gates of the school, I notice the congregation of students in the courtyard. There are little groups of students huddled around each other doing different things. Some were on their phones just ignoring each other. Some were running around acting like children. And some were socializing with each other like normal people. I ignore them all. This isn't a reason for me to talk to any of them. With one backpack wrapped around my shoulder, I enter the large white concrete building. After a self-tour of the school, I reached my first room. The school itself wasn't too large. I've definitely been in much larger compounds. It wasn't a problem to find my locker, my first class, and the lunch area. Students passed by me, all casually talking, complaining about everyday things. I silently laughed to myself about some of the petty things these inexperienced people complain about. It gives me a sense of gratitude for where I have come from. I never complained about my phone having a micro crack. Although I never get the money to go to the latest movie. Stupid things like that slightly irritate me. The bell rings and I enter the classroom. Third period is ended and now it's time for lunch. I noticed that the girl who lives next to me was in my class. And I had overheard several classmates and teacher call her Sayori. The name instantly ingrained itself into my mind. Without hesitation, students stood up from their desks and departed. I stand up, stretch, quickly grab my bag and leave the classroom. I approach my locker and get ready to switch out my books. But before I can even touch my lock, I hear someone grunting. My head perks up a little, head towards the sound. It was on the opposite side of my locker. When I turn my head around the corner... She doesn't sound like a dude. I messed that up. I see the same girl is in my class and right next to me having trouble with her lock. She seems to generally be having a hard time with her lock. Having trouble there, aren't you? I reveal myself from around the corner. No, I got it. You sure? You look like you can't seem to unlock that. It's hard to do this thing. I walk next to her and touch the lock. What is the combination? What? Afraid I'm going to steal your textbooks that I happen to have the exact same copies to? No. Okay, fine then. It is 92717. The lock clicks. There you go. What? You got it that fast? I'm very familiar with these types of locks. I show you how to properly orient the combination lock. That's how you unlock these. Thank you. I wave my hand to a locker and turn around. Hey, wait. I turn around to look at her. You're that new guy in class today. Yeah, I remember seeing you while I was walking home yesterday. Oh, yes, I remember you too. The name's Shadow. Shadow? I like that name. It's what I was given. Anyway, goodbye. I turn around, wait for Sayori again and return to my locker. Where are you going? I'm going to put away my stuff and then eat. Don't forget what I showed you. Okay, thank you. The final bell signifies the end of the school day. I grab my bag and depart down the hallway. As I walk down the hallway, I passed by two girls who were in a debate about something I didn't care too much to notice. I bet it's not Suki and Yuri. Something about manga. Yeah, I caught it. I had a schedule to stick to, so I didn't stick around to pay any attention to their frivolous conversation. As I reach the gates of the school, I hear a voice call out to me. Hey, Shadow, wait up! I turn around immediately and prepare for someone to charge me, but I'm only met with the sight of Sayori running to catch up with me. Shadow? What do you want? Also, why are you shouting? You're gonna draw attention if something bad is happening, woman. Sorry. Anyway, I had a question for you. A question? If it's something I can answer, I guess you can ask. So, I know you were new here and all, and I don't want to overwhelm you, but have you looked into any of the clubs we offer here at school? Clubs? Elaborate, please. Well, we have little groups of students who participate in extracurricular activities for fun to get experience for college. Okay, what is your point of asking me this? Well, I was curious to see if you'll join mine. You have a club? Yeah, I'm the vice president of the Literature Club. Literature Club? So you just read books and write all afternoon? That's a pretty mean and blunt way to put it. Well, excuse me, but it doesn't sound very attention-catching. I think I'll pass on that proposition for now. Not even if I ask really nicely? No. Meanie. I've been called worse. Sayori flashes a powdered face towards me a couple of times and attempts to break my resolve. Unfortunately for her, I'm very efficient in keeping a straight and professional face when needed. Every morning, afternoon, evening, I always had a friend who would pay our class a visit and make sure we were all professional. Anyway, I'm going home. You enjoy your club. Okay, bye. I turned away from her and head home. My main character is savage. As I watched the steak on the portable oven grill, I occasionally glanced over to the homework I was given. Normal English and social history subjects were a breeze for me. However, math was a different subject. The math I normally use in life is much different than this general principle they teach in schools. In short, they're two different ball games. But begrudgingly, I continued to finish the work, taking a few breaks as times to continue to make my meal. I settled on a lean cut of meat, cooked medium rare with asparagus and rice. All are high in nutritional value and are very filling. I cooked several steaks and prepared different portions of asparagus and rice for later meals. It's better to prepare your food now and eat it later, in my opinion. That is what I used to do in my old school where I lived in a dorm with about 80 students. That would suck. Made it really easy to wake up when signaled, eat quickly and get my morning hygiene routine done. I slammed my homework into a special folder I have designated for work I need to do at home. I finished making the final steak, which I plan to eat tonight since it was the freshest. As I sit down at the table, I eat silently. This dude's really well prepared. Definitely not me. During this time, I just try to clear my mind and finish eating my food at a fast pace. It's the equivalent of meditation for me as it is to others. Back in my old school, it was very hard to remain focused while eating since we only had about 10 minutes to eat our food. That included getting to the hall, grabbing our food, getting into a seat, and then eating. Normally, by the time you made it through the line, you already lost 5 minutes. It's true. Like, canteens at schools took forever and crap. So eating fast was paramount, but it was during these times I learned to focus only on eating. If I cleaned my head, it was much easier. I found it's oddly calming. I had gained quite an appetite after my run around the block earlier. I now have a good idea on the ins and outs of the neighborhood. Some may ask why I do this, but the answer is simple. Know your way out of any situation. You never know when you need an immediate escape. While I was returning from my run, I saw Sayuri arrive at her house. I had the opportunity to say hi, but I dismissed it. There isn't a reason for me to get involved with that girl, or anyone for that matter. Why would she even ask me to join her club? There's a couple of possibilities. She's lonely. She's attracted to me and she's looking for a way to get to know me more. Or she's just inherently friendly and bubbly. Number 3. But it's kind of foolish to just push such a request on someone you only just met. A lesson I learned very well as a young child. Ever since then, I'm always cautious about where I am and who I meet. Someone even as simple looking as Sayori can hide an evil past. One that we cannot run from. I shake my head, breaking myself out of these thoughts. I finished my dinner long ago. I quickly cleaned the dishes and put them away. Damn. Alright, we're back at school. Alright, this seems like a good place to end this. Yeah, this one's pretty interesting so far. The main character comes from a different place and he's kind of a jerk, but like he's really sophisticated and smart. So yeah, I'm gonna be playing more of this for sure. So I'm gonna leave this one here. If you guys enjoyed, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.